Yo, what is up, my Shadow Army? It is I, Shadow Critias, back again with another Kage Tatsuma What If video. So yes, this is part 6 of What If Kage Tatsuma was in Star Wars. And before I continue on, before we continue on, go check the previous part before you guys come over here, because the story will not make any sense to you. And yes, this will cover the Rogue One scenario. And even though I do not like the Rogue One, I just feel like things could have been different, honestly, but whatever. But it doesn't have to be a point. But this is a scenario of Rogue One. And yeah, I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's just go ahead and dive into it, because this might be the shortest part of this scenario, since I'm not a fan of the Rogue One. So without a way, let's just go ahead and dive into it. So basically, we start off where we last left off, where Kage and the group of Rogue One squadron, who are willing to risk their life to get the Death Star plan from the planet of which I forget the name of the planet from the Rogue One because it's so forgettable, and trying to prove that the Death Star is a thing, because one of them, I think it's her name, Janu? I can't butcher her fucking name. It has 3 letters, like J-Y-N. I can't butcher her name. Like, she see what the Death Star is capable of. The Death Star is a planet killer. And Kage actually believe it, because knowing the Empire, they would do something like this. And, of course, another new, forget the freaking character. I forgot how I'm supposed to fucking say it. A character who actually believes her, named Endor, who's actually decided, yeah, I believe you, we're gonna go down there and get it for ourselves. And they don't believe it, we're gonna go there. Until a Jedi comes to them, which they think he's gonna stop them, which is Kage Tatsuma. He's like, I'll go too. You're gonna need all the help you could get. So basically, having a Jedi on your side is the big deal. So basically, with a Jedi by their side and able to get the Death Star planet is not going to be an easy task. And see a blind man with a staff, and basically the ones, or the wielder or something like that. That's basically what they call. And he's actually interested to meet this person. Like, you know, if we make it out of this, you might be interested. So basically, everything goes out like it's canon, trying to, okay, we need to make sure that we don't get caught or anything, which it kind of happened. So basically, Endor, what's her name, and the droid basically go inside, dressing them as an Imperial officer to get the Death Star plan, while everyone are distracting the Empire from the outside. So everything goes well and dandy until they see a Jedi come in, which is a problem, which that leads the Empire comes out early, and that literally brought Vader's attention, which instead of blowing up the Death Star, instead of the Death Star blowing up the planet, Vader goes down there and deals with the Jedi, until everything goes well, where Endor and what's her name came back with the Death Star planet. Then they need an escape plan. They need to leave now. And they're about to leave until, well, Kage stops that he felt the familiar presence. Someone that he never thought to see again. So he tells them all to go without him, that someone's here for him, and he'll find a way to get out of here. Which they're questioning until they see him. Like, oh crap. Someone needs to distract him. Someone needs to deal with him. So Kage is going to stay behind. They're just going to leave. But there are some few crew who did die. The droid, the wheeler guy and his partner, they all died. The only 3 survived was the pilot and the 2 main characters from Rogue One, Endor and what's her name. So they were able to escape with the Death Star plan, and Kage stays behind to face off against Vader. And Kage was like, ignited his sabers. He said, "It's been a while. It's been a long time since we ever encountered since Kashyyyk, Vader." And Vader is like, So you decided to come out of hiding, tired of running. Are you ready to face your demise?" And Kage is like, "Funny, I was going to say the same thing about you, Skywalker." Which pissed off Vader. Kage is just like rubbing it in. So basically, Kage and Vader clashed their saber, and it became an intense battle. Both of them are evenly close at fight. But Kage decided not to use his dark side ability unless he needs to. And Vader gets the edge yet again, but Kage still keeps pressing forward until the rebels do escape with the Death Star plan. And when Vader sees above, he thinks the Death Star plan is in that ship that, they think the Death Star plan is in that ship where Leia is in, which is kind of true, but not true. They made, in this scenario, they kind of made a copy. So there's two versions of it. So, yeah. So now they got a two version of it. Even though they don't need the copy version, but it's best to have it extra just in case if one of them do get caught. So, Kage is willing to accept his fate, and until Vader destroys one of his saber, which is Momo's lightsaber, which that infuriated Kage, but he knows he has to let that go, and he learns to accept it, and now he only has one. And Vader's like, "It is futile to resist. Surrender now, or die." Until a ship comes down, shooting down to the ground, made both Vader and Kage jump away. Turns out the ship is actually Gungi. So Gungi came to get his master, which is kind of surprised that he come back so quickly, so soon. So Kage jumped into his ship and flies off, and then Vader tried to stop them, but until, the Death Star about to aim the planet, but Vader gets to his shuttle and flees out the planet before they blow up the planet. So basically, as Vader and Kage escape from the planet before the destruction, they blow up the planet. But Vader has no time to go after Kage because they had to get the Death Star plan before the rebel get their hands on. Which, everything plays out like the actual movie. The New Hope happened, Leia gets captured, 3PO and R2 carry the Death Star plan, even though 3PO doesn't know, but R2 does. Get trapped in the planet Kashyyyk, meet Luke Skywalker, everything plays out in The New Hope, and yeah, the whole trilogy plays out as canon. But what happened to Kage? Well, after he returns back to Yavin 4 with the last three members of the Rogue Squadron with the Death Star plan, basically R2 has the copy version where they have the main one. So that's basically changed this story. Even though the New Hope still remain the same, the Empire are still fully focusing on, hunting down the two droids. So after the whole get the Death Star plan, and the three characters for Rogue One actually survive. So Endor and what's her name actually survived, but we don't get to see them ever again. Because why not? Since in the scenario, since they survive and we're never going to see them at all. And Numa is was infuriated at Kage for, one, you left her without any other words. Secondly, you didn't even bother to get her to be part of this mission. Thirdly, she's glad that he's okay and safe, but never do that crap again. And after that, Kage believed that it's time for him and Gungi to leave Yavin 4 to get the other Jedi to be part of the Rebel Alliance, and wanted to have Numa to be part of it, go with him. Which Numa actually agrees, so both Numa, Kage, and Gungi actually left Yavin to find Quinlan Vos and the other Jedi survivors where they're hitting, thanks to Gungi knowing where they're at and decided to meet them. So basically, it's going to be quite a while and long ride for finding them. So basically, yeah, everything plays out as usual. The New Hope plays as canon, the Empire Strikes Back goes as well, and the Return of the Jedi plays out as well. And the Rebel Alliance have won the war, the Empire is no more, Anakin Skywalker fully brought back to light thanks to Luke Skywalker, and the New Republic has been formed slowly, and basically everything going like the expanding universe. So basically, Kage, Gungi, Numa, and the other Jedi survivor who return to, help Luke Skywalker to rebuild the new Jedi Order. And since Numa actually told Kage that she is pregnant with her child, and as they return is a baby girl who is now 8 months old, and basically they named her Momo. Kage named their daughter after Kage's former lover, Momo Tatsuma. So yeah, that's basically where I'm going to end this part here. The next part is basically the finale of this, so be on the lookout for that. And like I said before, this is short-ish, so not surprised this video will be the short one out of all. Same goes for the final part because it's more of like a discussion and towards the ending, which the ending will lead to the Legends EU continuity. So no sequel, so keep that in mind. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Links to my other channel, my social media will be down below the description box. You know the drill. Links to my Cash App and my PayPal and Ko-fi will be down below the description box and in my bio if you guys want to donate to support the channel. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Kneel before Shadow Critias. I'll see you guys later.